Roald Dahl, Danny the champion of the world. The big friendly giant. My father, without the slightest stop, was the most marvelous and exciting father any boy ever had. Here's a picture of him. You might think, if you don't know him well, he's a stern and serious man. He wasn't. He was actually a wildly funny person. What made him appear so serious was the fact that he never smiled with his mouth. He did all with his eyes. His brilliant blue eyes, when he found something funny, his eyes would flash, and if you look carefully, you could actually see a tiny little golden spark dancing in the middle of each eye, but the mouth never moved. I was glad my father was an eye smiler. It meant he never gave me a fake smile. This is impossible to make your eyes twinkle if you aren't feeling twinkly yourself. A mouth smile is different. You can fake a mouth smile anytime you want, simply by moving your lips. I've also learned that real mouth smile also the eye smile to go for it. So watch out. As soon as someone mouths at you with his mouth, but the eyes stay the same, it's sure to be bogus. My father was not what you called an educated man, and I thought if he read 20 books in his life, but he was a marvelous storyteller. He used to make up a bedtime story for me every single night, and the best ones were turned into serials, and went on for many nights running. One of them, which must have gone on for at least 50 nights, was about an enormous fellow called the Big Friendly Giant, or the BFG for short. The BFG was 3 times as tall as an ordinary man, as his hands were as big as wheelbarrows. He lived in a vast underground cavern not far from our filling station, and he only came out into the open when it was dark. Inside the cavern, he had a powder factory where he had made more than 100 different kinds of magic powder. Occasionally, as he told his stories, my father would straight up and down with his arms and waggling his fingers, but mostly he would sit close to me on the edge of my bunk and speak very softly. The Big Friendly Giant makes his magic powders after dreams that children dream when they're asleep. How? I said. Oh, dreams, my love, are very mysterious things. They float around in the night air like little clouds searching for sleeping people. Can you see them? I asked. Nobody can see them. Then how does a Big Friendly Giant catch them then? Ah, my father said. That is the interesting part. A dream, you see, as it goes drifting through the night air, makes a tiny little buzzing humming sound. A sound so soft and low it's impossible for ordinary people to hear it. But the BFG can hear it easily. His sense of hearing is absolutely fantastic. I love the fine, intent look on my father's face when he was telling a story. His face was pale and still and distant, unconscious of everything around him. The BFG, he said, can hear the tread of a lady's bent footstep as she walks across a leaf. He can hear the whisperings of ants as they scurry around in the soil, talking to one another. He can hear the shrill cry of pain a tree gets after a woodman cuts it into it with an axe. Ah, yes, my darling, there's a whole world of sound around us that I cannot hear because our ears are simply not sensitive enough. What happens when he catches the dreams? I asked. He imprisoned them in glass bottles and screws the top down tight, my father said. He has thousands of these bottles in his cave. Can he catch bad dreams as well as good ones? Yes, my father says. He catches both, but he only uses the good ones in his powders. What does he do with the bad ones? He blows them. It's impossible to tell you how much I loved my father, sitting close to me on my bunk. I would reach out and slide my hand to his, and then he would throw his long fingers around my fist, holding it tight. What does the BFG do with powders after he has made them? I asked. In the dead of the night, my father said. He goes prowling through the villages, searching for sleeping people. He goes prowling through the villages, searching for houses where children are asleep. Because of his great height, he can reach windows that 1 and even 2 flights up. And when he finds a window, a sleeping child, he opens his suitcase. His suitcase, I said. The BFG always carries a suitcase and a blowpipe, my father said. The blowpipe is as long as a lamppost. The suitcase is for the powders. So he opens the suitcase and selects exactly the right powder and blows it into the pipe. And then he slides the blowpipe in through the open window. And proof he blows in the powder floats around the room. Children breathe it in. And then what? I asked. And then ...